Let's start with the Fairytale Cinderella.
Okay.
So what do you think is in there that makes it relevant and nice for modern audiences, although it's a very classically told fairy tale, let's say?
I think it is. It's really classically, traditionally, magically told, but I think what's in there that's different to the animation is in the animation we have, you know, a kind of a damsel in distress and a young man who comes in and saves the day. And in this version, it's not like that. You have a very strong, brave woman who's been dealt a lot of really bad cards in life, and you have a young man who is a bit lost at points and is trying to work his way through life just like she is, and they kind of rescue each other, which I think is a much more modern version of the story rather than a kind of almost sexist version from the 50s of, you know, man comes in and saves the day. I think she saves him as much as he saves her.
It's a female-centric story, and we've seen a couple of those these past couple of years. So is it a good idea to put super heroines, although you know, it's in a princess dress, on screen for a young audience?
Absolutely, I think so. I think that's really important. You've got things like the Hunger Games that are doing that as well. I think not only is it important for young women to be empowered and kind of be inspired by that, but also for young men to be respecting women. And I think these pictures teach young men and women lots about that, which is important.
What do you think of the psychology of the wicked stepmother, the way it is explained why she becomes so wicked, and the way, of course, that Miss Blanchett then plays that?
Stunning. And I think that's what's so important. I think, and again, that's what kind of modernises it a little bit. I think especially when there's quite a lot of bad people in the world today, and I think we need to understand, I don't think anyone's born bad. I don't think babies come out and they're bad and going to do bad things. I think things happen to people that make them become a certain way. And I think the message of this story is it's just how you deal with what life throws at you. If you're kind and generous and loving, hopefully, you know, you'll be a good person and good things will happen to you. And if you kind of take a negative approach to life, then you're going to become a negative, horrible, evil stepmother. So be warned, because that's what will happen to you.
What was it like for you to witness what Miss Blanchett was doing? I mean, first of all, she presents stuff in those amazing costumes wonderfully, but of course there's so much intelligent acting going on behind the eyes.
Absolutely.
So how was it like to witness for you as a young actor?
I mean, it's great. It's been on set with people like Kate and people like Stellan Skarsgård and Derek Jacobi and Ken directing. It's just a masterclass every day, and not only kind of when the cameras are rolling, but when they're not rolling, you get to see how kind of true professionals work and hold themselves, and that's, you know, there's nothing more valuable for me as an actor that's trying to do this professionally to learn from that.
Yeah. How did you yourself like the dress-up part of the whole experience and the way you look?
Well, I have so much respect for Sandy, and it was one of my big worries, especially, you know, looking at the animation and looking at how princes are kind of traditionally perceived. I didn't want them to be wet in any way or foppish or feminine. I wanted him to be masculine and strong, but we've got to tie that into the fact that I am wearing like skin-tight white trousers. So, you know, there's a balance to be struck between it, and I was kind of terrified at first of how am I going to pull this off and keep him masculine when I'm in, you know, knee-high black boots and stuff. But actually, Sandy's done something amazing, like with that coat there, which is a piece of art. It's strong, structured, masculine costumes that actually give me a lot of confidence, which you need when you're trying to, you know, pull off wearing white pants every day.
That are sometimes a little bit revealing.
Yeah, they can be a bit revealing sometimes.
But talking about the physical aspect of it, coming of Game of Thrones, I'm guessing you must have done a lot of physical activity there as well. Were you completely prepared for both the horse riding and the dancing here?
The horse riding, I obviously did lots with Game of Thrones, and actually I kind of took it up a notch for this. I think Game of Thrones is lots of galloping fast with swords and stuff. And in this piece, it was much more when Ken talked about the first meeting between Cinderella and the prince and how they kind of dance around each other on these horses. And I wanted to make sure that I could do that really well and focus on the acting and not be focusing on trying to control my horse. So I kind of put myself back into training, which I love anyway because I love riding, and started doing a bit of dressage and jumping, which is really exciting.
No accidents?
No accidents. No, I've not. No, I did see Stellan fall off his horse crushingly slowly one day. I think it took him about 2 minutes to hit the ground. He kind of slid down and dropped and dropped and dropped and then hung and fell to the ground. But I managed to get away unscathed.
And dancing?
And dancing, no, that didn't go as well. Dancing was a nightmare actually. I'm not naturally gifted as a dancer, and managed to kind of destroy lots of Lily's dresses. You know, practice ones, thank God, not the real one. Destroy loads of them and rip them to pieces with my shoes because I'm quite clumsy, and spill a whole coffee down her one day. But I decided that the prince loves to socialise and loves to dance, and I wanted to make it look as if he knew what he was doing. So I just trained like 3-4 days a week to try and make myself look as if I knew what I was doing.